Hello there. I'm Kate Kunkel, founder of Brain Health Matters, which is a series of courses, programs, and videos like this, all designed to help you become healthier so your brain can become happier and stronger. And this is a very special episode for me because it's the first after I graduated from a comprehensive course with Dr. Daniel Amen. So now, in addition to being one of Amen brain health trainers, I'm also a certified Amen Clinic brain health professional. And that means I can share the amazing courses I can teach and coach from the amazing courses that Dr. Amen has created, in addition to the courses I've created myself. So I have a whole arsenal of things that I can use to help you improve your health and your brain. So that means, in addition to the research I did on Don't Let the Memories Fade, I have much more information. And part of that I'm going to be sharing with you over the course of the next few months in programs like I'm giving you today. So one of the ways that we can best learn how to protect our brains is to actually understand how they work. So today, because I just did a recent webinar with Rena Yudkowsky and we talked about memory, I thought I would share a bit of the presentation I gave there to help you understand how memory works. Because when we understand how something works, we're a lot more likely to look after it. So I'm going to share here how your memory works. Now, I bet you're wondering, what the heck does a brain trainer do? Well, we help people make the most of their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves to enhance that most important organ of the body. Yep, the brain. Without it, we cannot exist. There are no transplants, no bypasses, no substitutes. And no matter what you do to improve your memory, it just cannot stick if your brain isn't healthy. So that's why I'm here today, to help you understand not just how to protect your memories today and to boost them, but also to learn some simple steps that can nurture your brain for the future so you don't let your memories fade. So let's start with something that happens to so many of us every day. You meet someone new, and even after just a few minutes, you can't remember their name. Or you spend way too much time trying to find your glasses or keys that you've misplaced. Now, those are the kinds of short-term memory loss. They're kind of annoying, but many people say they're a natural part of aging. They are not. I'm here to tell you that that is not a natural part of aging. What happens if you forget that you just put something on the stove? So what can you do to avoid these things? Well, it really helps to understand just how memories are formed and stored. Just by having a visual understanding of what's happening in the brain can help you retain information. So first, memory is not just a single thing. Memory is a set of cognitive processes that occur in the biological matter of the brain. So it's actually happening in the structure of your brain. Because the coordination of many areas of the brain is necessary for memory to happen, it's actually pretty easy for problems to arise. So let's see where we start. Well, we start with the senses. When we experience something with our senses, we touch something, we see, hear, taste, or that most powerful of senses, we smell something, it gets quickly processed in the brain. It lasts there about half a second. It's kind of like taking a photograph and then it's gone from the sensory register. From there, it goes into short-term memory, basically immediately. The short-term memory acts like a filter and kind of a temporary storage, and it usually only stays there for 15 to 30 seconds. You can kind of think of short-term memory as the brain's scratch pad. You use your short-term memory to do things like temporarily memorize a phone number until you can jot it down, or remember something you want to say in a conversation. This kind of information quickly disappears unless you make a point of remembering it. Your short-term memory also acts as a filter. It decides what information is worth keeping and what should be discarded. Researchers think that we can remember about 4 pieces of information at any one time. So that's short-term memory. Some people also call that working memory, but I think it's an extra step, and other researchers do so too. Working memory is where the information is organized and manipulated. It kind of gets like in the file cabinets, but it doesn't stay there long. That kind of works like your computer's RAM, which provides working space for short computations. But if you lose power and you haven't saved the file, it's gone. And this is where the problems start when you have short-term memory loss. This is where things can easily get lost if you don't pay attention to them. And from there in working memory, whatever you've decided to keep goes into long-term memory. And that's generally the kind of memory that's more resistant to problems with your brain. Think of it kind of like your computer's hard drive. That's where data is stored permanently, but our hard drive doesn't have a limit like computers do for storage capacity. For now, it's important to be very aware that there are many places where things can go wrong in the brain in the memory process. So let's start with the most important thing you can do to keep your memory strong. First, you must have a healthy diet to have a healthy brain. It is 100% true that you and your brain are what you eat. And the first thing I always ask my clients to do to protect their brains is to cut out sugar, artificial sweeteners, and processed foods. These food-like substances cause inflammation in your gut and your brain, and they wreak havoc with insulin production, which also wreaks havoc with your brain. The gut microbiome is in constant contact with your brain and vice versa. So whatever we do to our gut is also reflected in the brain. So one of the best ways to enhance your memory is to look after your gut. So whatever you have to do to cut out the things that I just mentioned, do it. This relationship between the gut and the brain is incredibly important, and inflammation affects both of them terribly. Now, it's not just enough, though, to get rid of the irritants or the inflammatory things that cause problems. You also have to feed and nurture your whole body, including your gut. I espouse a vegan diet, but I know that many people need fish. So go ahead, but keep it clean and as much as you can, organic. Now, many people, though, even if they eat right, are deficient in the nutrients that are essential for the brain. So many people, most people in North America and throughout the world actually, are deficient in magnesium and vitamin B12. Why? Because the soil is basically dead everywhere on the planet, and we get those nutrients from the soil. Many people are also deficient in vitamin D3 for many reasons. If you live in a northern climate, certainly during the winter, you're going to be D3 deficient. And the other thing is omega-3 fatty acids. And that's why I say fish is good for many people. There are many vegan ways to get it, but you can certainly get it from fish, cold water, fatty fish. So deficiencies in any of these nutrients absolutely wreak havoc with your brain and your memory. In fact, many people who have been diagnosed as having dementia see their symptoms reversed just by getting their nutrients to the right levels. Also, make sure you drink lots of water. Dehydration is very taxing to the brain, and it can seriously impede your memory and your regular thought processes. Now, the next most important thing, and it's not really number 2, it's just I had to put them in some kind of order: exercise. 20 to 30 minutes of aerobic exercise every day gets blood flowing to your brain. It also improves your mood. It just does so many wonderful things for you. For the purposes of today, just know that it enhances the functioning of your brain, and that will help improve your memory. And it doesn't really matter what you do, as long as you love it, so that you will do it. And another really interesting study came out saying that increased leg strength actually improves functioning of the brain and memory. So you can do that on running up and down stairs if you're physically capable, doing squats, whatever it takes to make sure your legs are really strong. That also helps with balance. So that helps protect you against falls, that sort of thing. So aerobic and something with some strength training, building muscles in your legs. And then finally, amongst my favorite ways to improve your brain health, we're not just physical beings and brains. We're also mental, emotional, and spiritual beings. And every part of us needs nurturing to keep our brains healthy and our memories sharp. Meditation, mindfulness, and music are all powerful, but one of the most powerful things you can practice to improve your memory and your mind is gratitude. So I want to share this simple practice with you. You can take a gratitude journal, or I really love this. It also gives you a chance to remember the joyful things in your life. Write down 10 to 20 of your best memories. Something, maybe your child's birth or your wedding, a wonderful vacation. You could even attach photographs to them. Put them in specific places in your home, in your bathroom, on your fridge, but where you can actually see them, not where they become part of the wallpaper, but where you actually notice them. And whenever you feel upset, just walk through your home and look at those positive memories. Express and feel the gratitude. It's amazing what this does for your memory and your mind and your brain. Gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. For now, let's recap what we've covered. Memory is a process. Understanding that process is a huge benefit to improving your memory. And there are many choices we make and things we can do that can imperil our brains and our memories, or nurture them and make them the best that they can be. You have the choice always. And the top things to watch when you're looking after your brain: make friends with the friends of your brain. Your diet, a whole foods, plant-based diet. Get good exercise and good sleep. Be mindful and have an attitude of gratitude. And of course, keep learning. So I hope you found that helpful and that you now have a little better understanding of the process of memory. And next week, I'm going to have another program similar to this, but we're going to talk about what is real, what is actual normal cognitive change, and what is something to be worried about, because I think it's important, and certainly we have tests to help you understand when you're forgetting, when you walk into a room, or you're forgetting people, when that's serious and when it's not. So I will see you again here next week. I'm Kate Kunkel, signing off with Brain Health Matters.